Number 20 asks you to make a table and then graph this function. And I guess I should say y equals, but it doesn't really make a difference. So what they want you to do here is set up an xy table. You are supposed to choose the numbers you want to plug in for x. Now, we did talk in class saying that exponential functions usually represent something happening over time. So we usually do not start with any negative numbers. We would start at 0. From there, you can choose whatever numbers you would like. If you want to just go 1, 2, 3, or you want to go 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever it is, makes no difference. I'm going to go ahead and do the numbers 0 through 4. There's two ways to go through doing this process. The first is to plug every single number in. So that's where we'll start. If I plugged in a 0 for x, anything to the 0 power is 1. So this becomes 2 times 1, which is 2. If I plugged in a 1, I would get 2 times 1/4, which would be 2/4, which reduces to 1/2. And the basic process is I continue to plug these numbers in. 1/4 squared, 1/4 times 1/4 makes 1/16. 2 times that makes 2/16, reduces to make 1/8. There is a faster way to do this instead of calculating every single time. When we talked about exponential functions in class, we said this number inside the parentheses, that tells you how much you are multiplying by each time. I started with a 2, and if I multiply it by 1/4, I get a half. If I multiply that by 1/4, I get 1/8. If I multiply that by 1/4, I'll get 1 over 32. If I multiply that by 1/4, I'll get 1 over 128. So you don't need to plug the number in each and every time. This has a pattern built into it every single time you do these. You were asked to also graph this. So let's quickly talk about making the graph. We have some very small numbers. 1/128th. That's an extremely small number. It's very close to 0. But we mentioned in class that if you are constantly cutting something in half, or in this case, cutting something into fourths, it's never actually going to hit 0. So the way I would graph this is I would say my first point is 0, 2. My next point is 1, and then up 1/2. And then over 2 and up 1/8. And I can't really even estimate just how incredibly close this is getting, but what should be happening is it curves here and then goes almost completely on top of the x-axis, because it's getting closer and closer and closer to 0 every single time. If you wanted to make a larger graph, you could make a larger graph. You can scale it by 2s, 4s, whatever, so that each box represents 1 or 2, or each box represents less than that. You can skip 2 boxes before you hit 1, so each box counts as a half. Whatever you need to do to fit these is what I would like you to do.